what's going on, guys? Vengeance14 here. We just finished up this tier list. We're going to go to the next tier list in line, which is actually going to be Ridden. The idea here is it's going to be basically based off of difficulty, which can be good and can be bad. So, for starters, I'm going to say the common infected sweet spot. They're not too easy, they're not too hard. They can swarm you if you underestimate them, for example. The breaker in its current environment is actually pretty strong. It's almost too difficult. I believe this is the ogre in its current condition. I'd say it's in a sweet spot right now. It's not too hard. You know, you can face it if you think it through. I think the hag is a little tanky, but for how many times it shows up and what it will do, I think it's okay. It's not like it wipes your whole team. It'll just take one of your members and kill him. And then, let's see. This is a sleeper. You can dodge them, and they're, just shooting them off is pretty easy. I think they're almost a little too easy. I prefer things more to a hunter. Like, that's what they are, is like a hunter, but with 1 damage. They could afford to have a little bit more health if they attach to a player or something like that. Snitches. I'd say a normal snitch is arguably too easy. A mutated snitch, like the one that calls the horde regardless, is a sweet spot where you have to evaluate leaving it alive or not. So I'm just going to say a sweet spot. Armored Ridden, kinda dumb. Okay. Let's go over to my stat thing over here so I can tell what these guys are. No, I used the Ridden images from here. We'll just leave it here. Okay, so for these 3, Hawker, Stinger, Stalker. I know what the Stalker does. The Stinger is the one that just fires at you, and the Hawker is the one that sticks you. Okay, so I think the Stinger is annoying, but it borders on too easy. I think that the Stalker is... You can dodge a Stalker pretty easily. And it's really an intelligent AI. Like, it will drag you to cover, and as long as you're not in cover, it'll just stay there. Like, a jockey would just try to run away, and it would sometimes kill itself that way. So, I'd wager that it's something like, it's kind of in a good sweet spot. It is a nicely made character. Yeah. I think that the Hawker pinning, and the only way to do it is if you hit a teammate, is kind of a bad idea. I think that there could be an adjustment made here. Because you can't, here's the thing, you can kind of solo a Stalker, but you can't really solo a Hawker that well. Like, you have to kill it. Because if for example, I was playing Veteran, and my team left me behind to go fight an ogre or something like that, and there was a Hawker behind us, and I tried to 1v1 it, and I got pinned like 3 or 4 times. My teammate would break me out and then leave me. I'm like, guys, there's a Hawker back here. If I don't kill it, it'll get you guys. So I sat there and I lost health, and I fought it for way too long. I think that's silly. So this is a bruiser. This is a tall boy. This is a crusher. I think that the crusher's auto aim is a little dramatic. I think that the bruiser's health is a little dramatic. I think that the tall boy's charge is a little dramatic, but it's pretty easy to kill. I I think that the exploder's in a good spot. I think that the Reeker is too hard. I think that not like very hard, to levels of too hard, but I think that they could be brought down a bit because they have no weak spot and they have to get close to you. And even the ones with weak spots like the Exploder or the Wretch, they still close the distance. So a weak spot isn't what helps close the distance. All these things help close the distance. You have to put multiple mags into a Reeker before it'll die. And by that point, regardless, they have tanked up enough to get close to you and you're fucked. That shouldn't be how it is. The Wretch. I would actually say it's almost too easy. The Abomination, I've not fought it on a higher difficulty. I do not know how good or bad it is. But I think that what I've experienced so far, it's a final boss. It should be hard. So, maybe I'd wager it's a little on the easier side. Yeah, I agree with that. I think the only one I didn't really go into detail about was these armored Ridden. Any armored Ridden, whether they're the military skin or the SWAT skin or whatever, they're the same detail. Like, you know, when it comes down to stats, they're statistically the same. And the problem with them is it's not like the Left 4 Dead 2 ones where they had one animation where if you knocked them away, they would fall onto their back and you could shoot them in the back, which was also weak. This one, you have to hit them in the head. The only way to hit them in the head is by dealing damage to the helmet and then the head. So every Ridden like that has an extra life. And you don't really want to aim high that often in most maps because of alarmed doors or cars or hitting things you don't want to hit yet. So you either aim way too high or way too low and then you don't hit it properly. And it will not die if you're just shooting it in the stomach. So I think that that's a little wild. But I would wager that this is a good setup for this. So I'm going to open up another picture. And go ahead and screenshot that, tab over here, set that down. And then, yeah, I'd say that's it. Is there anything worth like hopping into a game to show you guys? No, not really, I don't think. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's good. Hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like the video, and check out my friends, family, social medias, descriptions, other YouTube channels, etc. from the description section of this video. I may not hit a special niche for you, but maybe they do. Otherwise, at the very least, I want you guys to have a good day.